Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shenanigans. How are the two of you doing today?
Doing all right.
Wonderful, wonderful. Why don't we...
I've got a question for chat, actually.
Oh, no. Proceed.
Just a knowledge question here. So I was recently thinking, because I got out of a relationship a while ago, and then I was like, I'll just do my own thing for a while. And recently I was thinking, maybe I want to start dating again, but when I go into where do I meet people? When I go into my internship, I'm a counselor. I can't date people I meet, etc. So I thought, well, once upon a time, like years and years ago, I used Match, and so why not? So I didn't activate it, but just looked on Match, and it looked like it was pretty much all the same people that were there 10 years ago. I'm like, oh, maybe Match is dead. Maybe nobody uses it anymore. So I'm going to throw that out to chat as a genuine, I really have no freaking idea question. Like, I don't imagine that I'm a Tinder guy where I just want to meet people for one night stands. So what are just tossing it out, they can answer whenever they want. What would be the dating programs or whatever that people have migrated to? Like, not the one night stand things, but just an actual way to meet somebody that didn't go out of style 10 years ago.
That's a good question.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, World of Warcraft might work. You could...
That's actually worked for a few people I know.
You could buy a motorcycle, get into a motorcycle accident, and go to the ER and see if there's anyone there. That would work.
I was thinking more of an online thing.
Oh, okay, all right. Not getting yourself
I was
injured.
basically like, what are the program or what are the services? The equivalent of Match.com or the non-horribly equivalent of eHarmony or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Plenty of Fish is supposed to be pretty decent, but it's been a while for me, so I don't really remember. Those are all like 10 years old.
No idea where to even start.
No. Well, an oddly serious welcome from Rob. Nick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. I've been having fun with Slay the Spire. The new killers come out on Dead by Daylight, and they broke the game with the newest update, as usual.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to start off today's quest in Shenanigans, and as we do so, I would like you to tell us a little bit about your characters, because we should know who we're playing with today. So, starting with Nick, since you're first in the video overlay, who are you playing today? Who are you wearing?
Well, I'm playing Howard.
And who is Howard at his core?
Howard is a cleric of joy for the sole purpose that he finds such joy in his pet cat, Oscar. He just loves his pet cat.
He's a cat man.
He's really a cat man. The cat's always with him.
But what does a cat man do?
I was looking for a way to do that, Rob. Damn it! You beat me to it again!
A cat man do magic.
Okay. All right. A spell-casting lover of kitty cats.
The voodoo that you do so well.
Yes, cue the I'm a kitty cat, and I dance.
And Rob, who are you wearing today?
Today I am Notch, who reached 5th level, and so of course I had to retire him. But he's just for the purpose of today's storyline, he's coming out of retirement. We'll see if this spells his doom. But Notch is what happens when I realize that the perfect monk is actually a fighter using the fighter build with skills and powers, and also a Yeti. But he's shaved, and he's totally a human.
And I have a logistics question. How often do you have to shave, and how do you get the hard-to-reach places?
I assume that he just shaves every morning, like whole body shaving for an hour or something. And
Is there like a waxer in town that you visit?
No, I just assumed that he was just like shaving in his room, full body shaving, just lathering himself up. As far as hard to reach places, luckily there hasn't been occasion for anybody to see those yet.
Okay. So there's a problem if you get all of your clothes burned off, there might be the chance that someone might see you as something other than human.
Or we just think he's a really bad back hair.
That could be the possibility.
Yeah, he's probably got very bad back hair.
Okay.
But they might just think he's a white guy then.
Okay. Wonderful. So here you guys are in Shenanigans. You're sitting down, relaxing after a long, hard adventure where you had to like travel 150 miles to go like drag back this big brass-bound box that was filled with supposed magic rocks, only to get back and find that really the whole point of the quest was just to like cause trouble somewhere so some thief could go in and steal something else, and all of your efforts were for naught, and you didn't even get paid by this guy. And it's been back-breaking work.
Real magic rocks were inside them all along.
Exactly. And after this back-breaking... Or gallstones. Can you get liver stones? I hope not. So here you are, taking some well-deserved rest. A well-deserved rest here in Shenanigans. And you're having your soup. But, your soup is surprisingly salty. This vegetable soup broth that you've got, it's just, there's way too much salt in it.
This fuels my idea even more. It seems to me that no one here really knows how to cook. That I could bring the traditional cooking of my people to this land. And I was thinking that, and I'd been preparing for that. I have my pavilion. I've recently purchased a cart. I've even purchased green paint to paint it and give people that feeling of green freshness. But recent war with Akuba has cut off the traditional spice trade that brings in the spices of my people. So I've had to make really crappy dishes that are only tangentially connected to the actual food of my people at best, like sweet and sour pork, etc. So I'm just gonna have to make those things, I guess. I think I will call my pavilion on a cart, because it can travel around and I've got a very fast donkey. I think it will be fast food. And I think I will call it Yeti Express.
Silence meets your wishes and your hopes and your dreams that you're expressing to the people around you. No one appears to have any thoughts on your innermost desires. How does that make you feel, Rob?
Disappointed. I've bought so many soybeans. Perhaps Borch simply needs advice on cooking. I shall go back there so I can discover that this soup has been salted, not from a shaker, but with his tears.
Well, that is the case. You find Borch stirring, just weeping big, salty, orcish tears non-stop into the soup. You see Desmond... If the kitchen is over here, right? Desmond is on the far end of the bar, and you can see he's like stacked some barrels on this part of the bar and is like leaning over, so he has absolutely no line of sight with Borch, and has like that is now his pouring station, and he's just over there giving Borch as much space as possible, or trying to ignore the emotional cries for help of his friend, depending on your perspective. Since apparently we're getting really morally close looking at these things today, Rob, thanks.
This seems to be a statement about the inability of men in our culture to connect with their emotions and how they've been walled off from them. And how, with this culture of manliness and separation from emotions, doesn't mean that men don't have them, merely that their society has ill prepared them for dealing with them or for seeking help. Well, Borscht, well, I applaud the environmentally friendly way in which you're salting, and you need no waste materials like a salt shaker. It seems that this does not provide the control over the amounts that you might suspect.
What? These are tears of joy. My favorite pigskin team just won a game. I'm just so happy.
What game did your pigskin team win?
Be lonely forever.
I do not know this game. How does one play?
You have a wife, and then she divorces you and leaves you, and then you never find anyone else ever again, and you're just lonely forever.
I see. Is this
That seems like an
collectible card
unfortunate game to play.
It's not a fun one. I don't want to play anymore.
You should stop then.
I don't know how. I don't know how. You know how hard it is to meet women when you have tusks? And a broken one at that? A broken tusk? Who wants to marry a man with a broken tusk? And when you're 6'5" and 300 pounds of pure orcish manliness?
I give up. Who does want to marry a man with an orcish tusk?
Nobody. Nobody.
I do not understand your joke.
It's not a joke. I'm so lonely. All I do is come here and I make food all day, and then I go home and I practice swinging my axe, and then I cry myself to sleep and get back up and do it over again. And it's been years of this, and I can't take it anymore.
Well, that sounds like a fulfilling life. Service to others, martial discipline, and emotional catharsis.
There's no catharsis. I just suffer.
Do you
okay.
need help, buddy?
I'll just stop adding salt to the soup. I don't know how you could possibly help me. Who would ever want a broken down orc like me?
Maybe another orc?
I give up. Who would want to help a broken down orc like you?
Nobody. And he...
I am sorry, I do not understand your orcish humor. Perhaps because I'm a human.
He heads for the back door, throws it open, and kind of runs off into the city crying so you won't see his shame.
The orc has run off so that we do not see his shame, but it seems his problem is that he wants people to see his shame. Or one special person in particular.
Desmond.
Kind of cautiously looks past the barrels. What are you doing in the kitchen? That's for employees only. Get out of there.
Desmond, you know everyone goes in the kitchen. Calm down. Borch left.
Krob, we need you to make your special soup. Where'd you go? Krob?
Seems it is up to us to help Borch. I know what I must do. It is obvious. I start to make improved version of his dishes, and I write the recipe down for him.
Do you have literacy? Or reading and writing?
I do.
Do you have cooking?
More important question.
Of course I have fucking cooking.
The more important question is, do you think
Didn't we just have this
Borch can read?
conversation about how he wanted to start a restaurant?
It doesn't mean you have a cooking proficiency.
Really
Lots of people start restaurants without cooking proficiencies, Rob.
Oh.
Yeah, but they all have shows.
Right. Okay, give me a cooking proficiency check to see if on the spot you can figure out what Borch's recipe should have been and improve it.
Well,
tears.
clearly it needs soybeans.
God.
Oh God, no.
Let's see. I have to find and download the sheet. I haven't opened the character sheet yet. Well, I had to find because I had the hard drive crash, so I didn't have Notch anymore. I had to get the first level sheet, and then
Did you ever get Skype working?
I haven't really
Oh my God.
got my PC fully working. I basically got it up to being able to play Fallout 4 again. And I was like, okay, that's all I needed to.
Yep. It's like when you move into a new house or apartment and you get your internet hooked up and your TV hooked up and your computer hooked up, and then you stop moving in for months. Yeah.
And the middle of the floor becomes the permanent home of the router because that's where you set it up when you just wanted to get things going.
And now you can't unplug it because, you need it for, you're downloading something. You can unplug it tomorrow and move it, but then, now you're watching this other thing and it can just be moved tomorrow. Yeah, it's the Christmas tree effect.
Writing, there's cooking. What is cooking? What abilities it key off of?
Int?
All right. Int is just kind of marginal, but we'll see here. In any event, I'm convinced it needs more soybeans.
All right. Let's see if that helps this or not.
What is up with your obsession with soybeans?
Oh my God. The soybeans would be the perfect fix for this soup. They'll absorb the existing salt in here and kind of mask it with their very bland flavor.
And the salt flavors the soybeans.
Right. And then it'll also help kind of beef up this otherwise kind of loose and meager soup. It's the soybeans. It's exactly what the soup needed.
Only we had some oxtails. The problem with that is you end up throwing away an entire ox.
All right. So you improve the soup. Zombie Krob comes over to take over. Golem Krob.
Zombie.
He's a flying iron golem, so therefore he can no longer be turned or thrown off or thrown down into a hole and killed because he can fly when he needs to.
Well, we'll see about that. We can't have flying golem NPC kobolds running around for too long. That would destroy the world. I mean,
he doesn't know he's a flying. He doesn't know he's a flying golem.
Or that he has a hellfire attack. He's just a repurposed drone. He's just one of the flying.
May or may not accidentally hellfire on somebody, but hey,
we'll see if he sets off his self-destruct sequence at some point accidentally. We'll see. There's only so many times we can bring Krob back to life.
Third world country, but aside from that,
all right.
This is only the second time.
That's true. Okay, so you have fixed Borch's soup, but he has still left crying in tears because no one loves him.
When he has this, soon he will be crying in joy as he was when I first entered the kitchen.
Just relatable.
Howard, I think you understand what's really going on here. Are you going to kind of help inform Nash that there's something else deeper happening?
Yeah. Nash.
It's not Nash like Nash Bridges. It's Nash like Chan rearranged.
I was saying Nash because it's spelled with an A when I swear you've been saying Notch for the longest time.
Yeah, I heard him saying Notch, but now it's spelled Nash, so I don't know what to do.
N-A-C-H.
Yeah, Nash.
Like Jackie Chan. Nash, Chan. It's rearrange the letters.
Nash.
Whatever you say.
All right. Listen, buddy, he needs a woman. Or a man. Pretty sure a woman.
That is right. Slavery is illegal in this place, this United Kingdom.
What? He
Correct him.
needs a partner, a loving partner.
Someone who would manage the slave woman?
Somebody.
So I don't approve of this slavery at all. And it's beginning to sound like it's more trouble than it's worth anyway.
He needs somebody consenting to be with him.
I see you're confused. Consent is the exact opposite of slavery.
Yes.
I never said anything about you are correct, but I never said anything about slavery. Where did you get this from?
You said he needed a person.
Yes. Yes. Going with yes here.
And I was accepting your plan, though I disapprove of slavery.
It's not about slavery.
I figure you're local here and probably understand the lack of morality and humanity.
He needs somebody that loves him and that he can love. We need to go find somebody.
The slave will help find such a person?
Hold on, checking my gold. Because at this point, Howard's going to give up and just go buy a slave. No. Wait, I think he needs an orc like him. Needs somebody that understands his pains of living in human culture.
Because the slave would be confused if ordered about in Orcish. And so his partner would understand Borch and explain to the slave as something of a translator. Perhaps a comprehend languages necklace could make this even easier.
What?
Perhaps you could use one as well.
Okay, I just started explaining it to the cat. because it'll understand more. Yeah, exactly. We need to find him, somebody that loves him. But it'll probably have to be an orc.
The cat then proceeds to hop up on Natch's shoulders and kind of walk from shoulder to shoulder going
Do you get it now?
Howard, I have had an idea. The motions of this cat. Perhaps Borch wishes to calm cats around as this cat does, and as a cat, seeks someone of its own kind because it will understand it. Perhaps Borch must also find someone who would understand him. Perhaps a fellow orc.
That's genius. Why didn't I think of that?
Why, indeed, you would think as a cleric of joy, love would be one of the many things you had a keen understanding of.
No, that's a different cleric. It's a different god. It's like the goddesses of love and passion.
So there's another god that is the god of joyless relationships.
Exactly.
My parents must have worshipped this god.
Okay, by Volmator, we need to go.
I think that, wait, I know this goddess. Is it Melania? Goddess of joyless relationships?
I don't know.
Melania? Oh, whoa, what the hell was that? Got it. So, what are you guys going to do about this? How are you guys going to find Borch a wife?
Desmond, where are the orcs?
Hey everybody, you're talking about something I understand now. Wonderful. He pulls out a map of the region of Drekis after fumbling through a box of various maps. And let's go to the map page for us all to see. He brings you over and leans heavily on the counter after handing you each a pint of beer that you did not ask for. Well, you see, here we are in Berkshire, over here, right? Greatest place in town. The orcs tend to live on the coast of this area called the Pocket, right? Right, they're way over here, kind of near the Lamdoon River, just outside the capital across the big waterway. Now, there are other pockets of orcs all over the place, but the big orcish encampment is over here. It's a dangerous place. He spits on the thing he's been marking, kind of wipes it off from the dry erase he's been using on it, or the wet erase markers he's been using on his map.
It is most fortunate that you were here to give exposition and had a map explaining the places where we might encounter what we need.
Well, that's what I do. I'm done making solving encounters on my own. Now I just provide assistance and support and beer and food.
Well,
Soupy.
Do you know where there's like a small pocket nearby? Because there's two of us.
Well, what do you need the orcs for?
Borch.
Yes. It's tough not to crack that, man.
Is Borch from that region?
No, Borch is actually from pretty far away. Oh my god, what the hell is that crap? That's not the map I want to open. Borch is from far, far, far away. We met on various other adventures and settled here independently. Neither of us are from this region, nor actually from this continent, but that's not important. Let me open up my ledger of orcish inhabitants in this region and find you a proper answer.
Like quite a story. You meeting Borch and then traveling to this new continent.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I could almost imagine an episode of our lives where we hit our heads and all had a collective flashback one day and reenacted the whole thing. Story of how you got to be here.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm ready to share that story with you yet. You know, we've just met and all, Mr. Surprisingly smooth and hairless man. You too look like you're from a different place. Anywho. So this, which I'm marking...
I'm probably reaching my back. If you could help me, I would be most indebted to you.
This is a concerted effort on your part to become this hairless?
Yes, and I in turn will shave your back for you.
It's okay, my back doesn't need shaving. Lizzie already does it. So I'm gonna just draw here on the map the orcish populations. You know how I was telling you that that area over there called the Pocket is where most of the orcs are? Mm-hmm. My old man memory is off these days, and now I'm seeming to recall that there's actually a very, very large orcish population just to the south of here. Like, you know,
perhaps you could ping
this large.
You've got.
Yeah. These are the two different groups of orcs that live in the area around us.
I see where you could have forgotten that this giant pocket of orcs exists 5 miles out of town.
Yeah. They're called the Australian orcs. Not sure really why they picked that as a clan name, but...
I had thought perhaps it looked like China, but...
Oh my god. Okay, cool. I think we'll go to the one right below us, because it's not that far of a walk.
Yes, this seems most convenient. I'm surprised we haven't heard more about these orcs before now.
Oh, I'm sure you've encountered them from time to time. I think if you search your memories, you'll find that there have been many orcish encounters in and around Berkshire, as well as a few basilisk encounters. Be careful. We don't need any more stoners out here.
Range with the realm of the orcs overlaps the range of the free-running rhinos.
No. Those are out in the plains, further to the west, east. Yeah, west. I know my
The
directions.
rhinos included?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't think the only things that possibly overlap with the orcs are a couple of clans of ogres that live south of the Deepwood Swamp.
Then their range stops at the edge of the forest, where the realm of the battle sheep begins.
The battle sheep who are eternally at war with the gnolls out there. Yep. Dangerous things.
Yes, well, we should step outside of town where this adventure probably begins.
Wonderful. All right, and off we go to our adventure to find Borch a wife. A willing wife who is most definitely not an indentured servant or slave, Nash.
I see.
All right. And with that, we're going to go to our first break a little bit early. And when we come back, we are going to have you guys find Borch a wife. See you soon.
All right.